Okay, so in the comment section of the previous video, one of my viewers said that since I made that video, we had a big dump and basically I was wrong. And in this video, I'm going to check out this move down right in here and tell you why I believe in Telcoin nothing has changed and we are still absolutely 100% bullish. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about Telcoin, we were, I believe, somewhere around these highs. And I was saying, well, okay, there is a good chance that this move down right in here is going to be a correction structure. And after it's over, or maybe it's over already, we're going to get another huge move on the upside. And what happened? After it, we actually got this move on the downside. Now, let's check out this move down and see how big is it actually. This is about a 31% move. Now, let's go on daily time frame and check out the previous bull run right in here. So you might think that from this area, we just had a very sharp move on the upside and we didn't really get any kind of a strong pullback. However, unfortunately, I believe you are wrong. Let's check out these corrections one by one. As you can see, this wave 2 is about a 62% move on the downside. What about this wave 4? Let's just measure it from this high to about this low. This is about a 40% move. What about this move down right in here, which happened before this 10x move on the upside? This was about a 52% move. So you see, in Telcoin, so far we just had about a 30% move down, which is quite a lot smaller than these moves right in here. And if you have been around in this bull run, well, you know there is nothing to be worried about. These types of moves on the downside are absolutely normal. And by the way, this move down in the very short term wasn't actually specific for Telcoin. No, in a lot of altcoins, we got some decent moves. And in Telcoin, I would argue that this move was actually quite smaller than the others. For example, in Litecoin, I think we had like a 40% move. In Yasmi coin, we had also, I think, a 41-42% move. And this is just a 29-30% move on the downside. And where are we right now? Let's go on H1 time frame. There we go. As you can see, seems like that we want to actually completely cover this move and continue our uptrend, which to me, this suggests that this uptrend in Telcoin does actually have quite a lot of power and bulls definitely do still have the upper hand. Now, let me present my argument for why I believe relative to the previous video, nothing has changed and we are extremely bullish still. Number one, in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, well, okay, this was a very important resistance from weekly and daily time frame at the same time between, let's say, 0.0048 to about 0.0058. Now, if you want to say that this area is broken, you need to go on weekly chart and see a candle close above it, followed by that a pullback and then a continuation of the move up in order to take this high. Let's go on weekly chart and see what is happening. There we go. Let's zoom in more. Excuse me. So this can be our initial move above this region. And so far we can say, well, okay, the current move down was just a very simple pullback. And after it, what's the play? Probably, I would say, a continuation of the move up. Does this mean that from the current point, we're going to continue our uptrend? Maybe, maybe not. And I'm going to show you some scenarios in here. You see, in terms of Elliott waves in the previous video, I was saying there's a good chance we are having from this point a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and let's change the colors to maybe orange. There we go. And this move down right in here can be a correction structure. And I do still believe that a correction started from this high and maybe it has ended somewhere around here, or even at the moment we can be on our way to complete this whole corrective movement. And this whole move is going to be on the same degree as this one right in here. So what does it mean? It means this is a 1, 2, big 5 wave up into wave 3. And this whole move, for example, can be a correction into wave 4. And what's going to happen after it? Probably another, I would say, 2 to maybe even 300% move on the upside into wave 5 in order to reach to somewhere around these areas. Now, for our correction, we can have many different possibilities. For example, if you want to say that the bottom floor correction was actually in right in here, then okay, you can argue that we're having an expanded flat. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this side and then another solid move down into our C leg. And in this move, we're going to take the low of our A leg. And for sub waves, ABC down into A. Let's change the colors. There we go. ABC or a WXY, generally some sort of a correction up into wave B. And this is our final 5 wave on the downside into our C leg. Understood? Okay. Let's go on the live chart and count some waves, and maybe it's best to go on 15-minute charts and okay. So I can tell you maybe this is from here a 1 correction for 2, big move down into wave 3 correction for 4, and this can be another move down into wave 5. Before this 5 wave down, we can actually have from here maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into wave A. This whole move down can be a correction for wave B, and then in here we can have another move on the upside into our C leg. This can also be a WXY in form of a double zigzag, doesn't really matter a whole lot, and you can argue this is another A, B, CS structure on the downside. And on a higher degree, what do we have? You know it, most likely an A, B, C expanded flat to somewhere around the lowest low. Now, in my mind, one way or the other, this seems to be an expanded flat because finding a 5 wave on the upside in this phase is actually quite challenging. The question is whether the bottom for our correction is going to be in here or not. You see, if you want to argue that in terms of Elliott waves, we're going to have our final bottom somewhere around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low a 5 wave up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. The rules for it are we shouldn't have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave, and for sub waves, you know it, 5 wave up into wave 1, 3 and 5. Let's change the colors to red. Okay. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different possibilities. Doesn't really matter. Let's say, yeah, sure. A WXY into our wave 4 and an ABC structure into wave 2. Now let's go on the live chart and see, can we have something like this off of the recent lowest low or not? Let's zoom in more. Okay. So here's the situation. I can actually find a 5 wave impulsive structure on the upside just in this move right in here. Followed by that, I can tell you, well, okay, this whole move down from this high and ending to somewhere around this low is going to be a correction. I would say potentially in form of a flat and a zigzag, and it means, well, probably this is a 1, this is a 2, and then we're going to get a big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. However, one of the main characteristics of a wave 3 is that it should be quite a big and a strong move. And so far, it seems like that we are just having some choppy moves on the upside. That makes me say maybe this scenario is not going to be in play. So basically, so far, I said from the lowest low, we can either have a bullish scenario or maybe a bearish scenario that suggests we're going to go lower. That's absolutely genius. Well, you see, that's not really the point. The point that I'm trying to make is this. As long as in Telcoin, we are staying above this very, very important, let's say for now, supposedly broken resistance area, we are absolutely good to go up, and we can definitely assume that this whole move right in here is just going to be a correction structure, and after it's over, we are going to get some more sharp moves on the upside, which I said earlier, this move right in here can actually be a 2 to even 300% move. I think that is definitely possible. It's just the fact that maybe before we get our move up, we're going to get either some more choppy moves like this, or maybe another move down in order to just take this low, and maybe after it not go a whole lot lower, and then have a 5 wave impulsive structure, corrective movement, and then so on and so forth in order to generally continue our uptrend. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. This small move down right in here is absolutely normal in any alt season, and if you are new to the market, I guess that's fair enough. You might be a bit surprised, but in any other alt season, if you go and check the charts, you can definitely see much more stronger of a move on the downside. And this is, I would say, generally to destroy the people that went long with an insane amount of leverages. This is absolutely normal, and I fully believe this whole move in Telcoin is just going to be a correction structure, which is probably on the same degree as this move right in here. And I'm gonna say, you know it, on a higher degree in TL, we are having most likely a 1-2 big move up into wave 3. This is a correction for 4, and after it's over, we can have another big move up into wave 5. And overall in Telcoin, I think it is definitely possible for us to get a huge move in order to take the highest side in this region around, let's say, 6.5 cents, which from the current point, that's equal to about, let's say, a 10x move on the upside. I think that is possible, and we definitely do have the structures for it. And these types of short-term corrections shouldn't really fool you into believing that our bull run is over. At least for now, I do not see any evidence that suggests something like that might be in play. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Telcoin's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.